For years, BTS V has been admired across the globe for his soulful voice, magnetic visuals, and enigmatic presence. But in recent months, a new chapter in his artistic journey has quietly begun, one that is earning him serious attention, not just from fans or fashion insiders, but from the world's elite dancers, choreographers, and performing arts circles. This isn't just about dance practice clips or tightly choreographed music video routines. This is something deeper, something more personal, a transformation that feels like a revelation. It all started subtly, a few behind-the-scenes rehearsal clips shared casually on Weavers, a moment of free-form movement during a BTS concert, a flicker of emotional intensity in the middle of a choreography video. But the shift became undeniable when a now viral dance clip surfaced, a freestyle collaboration between V and Lee Young, one of South Korea's most revered choreographers. Unlike typical idol performances designed for mass appeal, this was raw and theatrical. The two weren't just moving, they were communicating. Their dance was less about matching beats and more about mirroring emotional tension, breath, resistance, and release. Within hours, the click exploded across social media, but not just within ARMY circles. Professional dancers, choreographers, and performing arts critics from New York to Berlin to Tokyo began commenting, reposting, and analyzing the performance. Something about V's movement felt different. "He's not just executing choreography, he's embodying it," said a Canadian choreographer on TikTok. That was like watching theater with no words. Soon after, major outlets like Dance Spirit magazine, The Guardian Arts, and even the New York Times Culture section began writing about the performance. One article boldly claimed, "V is not simply dancing, he is performing emotional architecture with his body. His instinctual grace, the pauses, the hesitation, the vulnerability, it's everything commercial pop usually avoids, and yet it's what makes him unforgettable." Academia followed close behind. Professors in dance studies from universities in the UK and the US began citing his performances, particularly Singularity, Black Swan, and Stigma, as examples of hybrid movement that blur the line between K-pop and contemporary dance. At the Contemporary Dance Institute in London, a full-day workshop was recently devoted to analyzing the embodied emotion in V's solo routines. Across the channel, in Paris, a renowned dance academy hosted a masterclass entirely dedicated to V's interpretation of emotional movement, calling his style a bridge between commercial performance and modern stage theater. Unlike many idols with years of intensive technical training, V's evolution into a dancer has been largely organic and intuitive. His style isn't about executing flawless pirouettes or hyper-synchronized routines. It's about telling a story through breath, gaze, tension, and fluid motion. He's not afraid to make his body fragile, to express grief, longing, or silence in a space typically filled with intensity and spectacle. His stage persona walks a delicate line between intimacy and distance, giving the audience space to feel without being overwhelmed. Every step feels like a choice. Every movement feels like it has a secret. It's not about how high he jumps or how fast he turns. It's the emotional gravity in his gestures. He could just walk across the stage and the room holds its breath. That's the mark of a true artist. As V's dance journey gains momentum, so do the rumors. While fans originally assumed his recent trips to Paris were related to his partnerships with Celine and Cartier, insiders are now whispering something entirely different. According to unconfirmed sources close to European performing arts circles, V has quietly met with several avant-garde choreographers and stage directors, including some affiliated with modern dance collectives in Berlin, Paris, and Amsterdam. The alleged goal? A cross-cultural performance project that would blend K-pop aesthetics with contemporary European movement, storytelling, and set design. Though Big Hit and Hybe have remained characteristically silent, speculation is growing fast. Don't be surprised if Taehyung ends up debuting not just a dance film, but an international stage piece. This wouldn't be a concert, it would be art. Think Pina Bausch meets BTS. This shift is more than a side project. It signals a redefinition of what it means to be a K-pop idol. In an industry known for polished visuals and formulaic choreography, V is carving out space for emotion-first performance, where dance becomes a form of emotional storytelling rather than just entertainment. For fans, it's a deeply personal experience. Watching him dance feels like watching someone translate the inside of their heart onto a stage, vulnerable, beautiful, and unfiltered. And for the performing arts world, it's a bridge they didn't know they needed. While nothing has been officially confirmed, one thing is certain: the world is paying attention, not just fans, not just brands, but choreographers, directors, dancers, scholars, and cultural critics who see in V the rarest kind of performer, one who can move across genres, cultures, and expectations with nothing but authenticity and grace. Whether it's a solo stage performance, a dance film, or an entirely new genre of hybrid performance art, Taehyung's next move is no longer just a K-pop event, it's a cultural one. And as always, he doesn't need to announce it, he just needs to move. Without trying and without fanfare, V has become a cultural ambassador, not just for Korean music, but for Korean emotion. He's bringing softness into strength, vulnerability into performance, and individuality into an industry built on synchronization. It's easy to forget that he doesn't come from a classical dance background. He wasn't trained in ballet academies or sent to competitive programs as a child. What he brings to the stage comes from observation, introspection, and something almost unteachable: intuition. He watches the world quietly, then expresses it through movement. V reminds me of artists from the early 20th century, said an arts professor in Milan. He doesn't dance to be seen, he dances to say something. In a performance world saturated with technical prowess, that kind of purity is a rare, disarming strength. The future is unspeakably beautiful. As of now, no one knows exactly what Taehyung is planning next, and perhaps that's the beauty of it. He's moving in silence, not to create mystery, but because he's not performing for algorithms anymore. He's performing for something more eternal: human connection. Whether it leads to a stage play, a visual film, or a performance installation in Europe, one thing is certain: V is no longer just part of BTS history. He's beginning to carve his own chapter in global performing arts. He's no longer just an idol. He's no longer just a singer. He's becoming something else entirely: an emotional interpreter, a movement poet, a living artwork. And when the world finally sees what he's working on, whether tomorrow or a year from now, it won't be a comeback. It will be a moment of stillness so powerful, it will ripple across time.